Yeah, Ghost, you stay away. I dealt with you already. Hello. We're back with more murdered soul suspect. This'll be the last time as well. Because there's kind of not enough in order to split into two parts. Which means that, right off the bat, I'm going to start with criticism. We're going to have a lot today. Because everything is going to be jammed into this time frame. But where were we off last time? Well, we followed Joy to the police station. Because her mother's book was being held at the police station by Baxter, who is kind of the only other person who is really interested in this case, compared to all of the other police officers at the station who are too busy playing Deus Ex Human Revolution to really care. And then there's Just Cause 2 posters on the wall. Square Enix published this. Based on the book, which we found, which was meticulously hidden out of everything, led us to the cemetery to figure out if there was a connection between the killings that the Bell Killer did. Led us to a girl named Sophia, who is another victim of the Bell Killer. Saw her backstory in terms of being tied to a chair and hung over the lake and drowned. Because like most drowned ghosts, they're not able to speak. Here's the thing about the drowning chair. I'll save it. I'll save the thing about the drowning chair for later. From there, we found out about someone who has page. Did you bring the page? Maybe. Maybe. Now, we're on our way to the mental hospital because there's apparently someone who survived an encounter with a Bell Killer. So if we get there, we can hopefully talk to her. Sounds like maybe that's going to be a problem because she's there. And figure out what to do from there. Again, we're going to finish this today. And it doesn't feel like there's a lot that's gone on in the previous two streams. That's because this is backloaded. This game is backloaded. It's going to be jam-packed full of things. So pay attention as we head on our way. The other thing, as we're going along here, so I shouldn't have to worry about any of the collectibles because I already dealt with them, there's no other extra investigations. We're pretty much done with them. I think I'm going the wrong direction because it should be a lot closer to the cemetery than I once thought. So if I head back to the left and just go through the playground, I think that'll be faster than the other way around. I can even check. Just reveal the staircase and see if I got because I did get the can up here. I did get the can, so I'm good there. That's really cool. Oh, man. There we go. There's our entrance to the Lux Eterna, the mental hospital.
Mental hospitals. One place torture is considered for your own good. If their experiments ever succeed in restoring a person's sanity, they better hope it was at the expense of the person's memory. Ready? Relax, we're out of the graveyard.
And into Crazy Town? A big improvement. People who see things nobody else can see end up living here.
Not that crazy, come on.
Okay, I'll help you get inside, but...
But what? Look, if we're gonna ask this girl Iris about this contract, the asking needs to be done by a living person, right?
Just remember who opens the door for you, tough guy.
Yeah. All right, kid. You're up. Now just find a way to get Iris's room number.
Hi. I need your help. I'm looking for a friend.
Visiting hours are over.
Right. But she was with the cops.
Then go talk to the cops.
See, I did, and they said that she was a danger to herself, and
I can't help you.
All right. Just need to stall her, okay? We have to figure out what her weaknesses are. Maybe these things on her desk will help us.
Mm-hmm.
He's most likely a man of imposing size and stature. Someone who's accustomed to violence. Heinous acts in his past define him to the point where he no longer knows who he truly is.
Let's pick that up first. That was the question of whether or not Cassandra is going to show up here compared to everybody else. Right now, it's just her calling cards that she leaves, almost. That's usually the case with audio sources. Like, okay, keep it simple. I love that this is a clue we get to pick up. They literally put in a hang in there kid cat poster. Very important. I can't say that I'm inspired by this. A lot of the clues they're putting in just like for a joke. Again, you have to get like oddly close to some things. Get her boy. There's a boy. There's a dinosaur. But for whom? Severely limited. Because as we go through the mental hospital, it's pretty obvious. With our clues, there's no answer, but we need to influence. Who could it possibly be that we aren't influencing? We gotta play at the heartstrings.
Kiddo, I hate being here and wondering if you're okay. You're all I have left. Just like this girl's friend is all she has left.
Sorry. I know how hard it can be when someone depends on you. What's your friend's name?
Iris Campbell.
Yes. It looks like your friend Iris is here. Everything's gonna be okay.
Thanks. I feel better.
Hold tight, kid. I got this. Just
I don't know why she would say that. Everything's gonna be okay. Unfortunately, lady, this is kind of like the worst voice acting performance in the game. It belongs to here. Before we go, though, we do need where she is. Ward 2, high security ward. Great. Room 216. Electroshock therapy.
216. We gotta find it quick, Joy. She's scheduled for electroshock.
Very, very soon. Okay, off we go. Look, you don't need to hide there. You're fine.
All right, kid. Coast is clear.
Now, the news articles aren't very helpful, but the tabloid articles are something else. No one has been able to solve the mystery of the Bell Killer in Salem. Not even the mystery of the symbol itself. Since there seems to be no bell at the scene of each crime, could it be that the killer is leaving an autograph of sorts, a statement of identity? If it has to do with his origins, the logical conclusion would be that the killer originally hails from Philadelphia, another rich city in history, and home of the most famous belle in America. But are police willing to consider this bold approach if it means solving the case and saving dozens of lives? Bit of a red herring, but at least it's more than the news articles are actually giving us. Oh boy. Where's my taco salad? This institution is dedicated to the afflicted souls it serves, and for those agents of mercy who comfort them in their torment. 1883. Hello, tabloids. What do we got here? The Salem Hot News. Local hero Jim Deal. Oh, that's a name. Oop. Yeah, man. There we go. All right, that was tabloid. Tabloid 1. What do they say in the first one? Bizarre death at Lux Eterna Mental Hospital in Salem may be connected to a string of murders throughout the town. A source confirms that a female mental patient was found dead, strangled with a cloth bathrobe belt. It might be the first of the recent murders to be committed in such a secure area. It means no one is safe anywhere, says a terrified woman who has spoken directly to a witness. I heard there was all kinds of drawings on the wall of her cell, and that bell symbol might have been there. I'm sure it was him. Yes, it was Andy. Here. Yeah. We need to get our next story and collect some straitjackets. The story of the man in the box. Oop. Helpful. I feel like they were trying to do something else with like random things that you're able to observe, but it just doesn't attach to anything. It's a wonderful city here. I have no idea where it is, other than it's definitely not in the US. Definitely not the US for any picture like that. Can't go that way. But we can go up here. And I love that they put the devil spot right there because it really serves no purpose in terms of its design. Spanish flu. Dedicated to the victims of the great Spanish influenza epidemic unleashed within this ward in 1918. May their souls find the peace they were denied in life. We're just speeding along with picking up things. There's only 6 left of the info about the killer, and we've really learned nothing about the killer. Following a strident editorial on these very pages that questioned the ability of the Salem Police Department to competently investigate the Bell Killer case, lead investigator Lieutenant Javier Rex Reyes announced that 6 additional officers are being assigned exclusively to the case. Blah, 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 PR, blah, blah, blah. Just need to get away from all of that. Here's our straitjacket. Got the men's ward. No reason to go see the men. So, yeah, we won't be seeing Max. We won't see Jacob. We won't see anything like that because, not modeled. Specifically focusing on the women's ward. They mentioned that Iris is scheduled for electroshock therapy. Maybe we should pick up the pace, but we're picking up a whole bunch of other
Iris is
things.
due for shock therapy in 15 minutes.
Oh, the stakes are so high.
Fry your brain shock therapy? Oh shit.
Oh shit is right. Let's get moving.
For some reason, Julia's thoughts are also here. Though it's been hard for him dealing with my mood swings, I think there's something serious going on in my head, and I know he suffers the consequences along with me. But to be so supportive, to be my rock, takes a real man. I will get through this. I will make this all worth the struggle. So we did see a little bit of like Julia having some mental issues. They don't really go in depth very much with what that actually is. There are some ghosts we get to talk to, though. And by talk, I mean sort of.
Another camera. Get on it.
1, 2. On your way, sneaking through. Pretty much just sneaking through because even though she was told, it's like, yeah, your friend is here, doesn't mean that you're supposed to be visiting. Laundry. You're supposed to, yeah, right here.
To drown or be washed.
I'll be glad when I'm able to get all of these. There's 8 more of those. Be glad when those are done.
See that camera? I'm not as invisible as you held me out.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how sneaky are you? And now we're just getting the repeat of the news. Go away. And then need to get rid of you. Usually 2 things. Off you go.
The thing to understand about Mrs. Gwynn is that her father used to become violently angry when she would walk in front of the TV during sporting events.
I don't see what that has to do with...
Any kind of anger, but particularly male anger, is really a trigger point for her. So I realize that dealing with patients can be a frustrating business, especially when they are on medication, and they're less responsive. But you have to be careful.
But she gets all, I don't know, crazy.
Yeah, look around you.
Nothing to do, sir? Nothing to do? You're not even watching the TV anymore. What do you see? What do you see? Anyway. In a shocking new discovery, our staff has found compelling evidence that recent brutal murders in Salem repeat another unsolved killing spree from 1972 to 73. Like the current spree, the killings were all unconventional, bizarre, and unsolved. And they all bore the mark of a bell. Not as prominently as recent murders, but definitely a similar signature-style mark. While Salem police are unwilling to comment on any relationship to their cold case file, the evidence is overwhelming that a serial killer has returned to Salem to wreak a new reign of terror, or a copycat killer has done his research. This is the first actually good piece of information. Surprising how well that actually works there. What's going on through your mind?
Work will begin soon.
Yikes. Yikes. Okay, I'm off. Goodbye. Shackles. We got tally marks on the wall. We have... Did they actually put down what's on the can there? Sort of. It is for electroshock. Sure. Ooh, the dining hall. Absolutely where I want to be. catch up to Joy a little bit. Or the showers. Typical shower.
Go away.
Okay. Sorry.
You're up again, kid. I need to possess you to get past this crap.
Nope. I hate that.
Or you can just go on. Totally alone in here.
Fine.
At least we ask for consent.
You know what these hands are?
Lost souls, I guess? Just seems like the opposite of moving on. Or at least the opposite of moving on you're trying to do.
Hold on, I gotta pick something up. Then I can go and possess you again. No, I can't.
No.
What do we do?
All right, keep going. Get to Iris's room.
No. We stick together.
Joy, we don't have a choice. Now, I'll meet you there as soon as I figure out a way around this. Go!
Oh, I can look at this. Sort of. I'll look at it better like this. Notice of closure. Sure. Can I get a better look at that? Sort of. It says the word sedan. I'm like, I don't think that's supposed to be right. By order of public health, and yeah, one of those not kept up places. Pick up so many of those straight jackets already. Let's have another story on our hands. Jeez, this is the dining hall. It's one of the derelict places. Fun. I was looking forward to it, and it just turned into this place. Great. Oh, come on. Come on. Well, we don't crawl, but that should mean there's a cat. It was the question of whether or not it's the same cat, but I wouldn't think so. If I were to choose between the two, I would think the more believable one would be like Gage Blackwood and Doctor Who having some sort of interaction with one another. Oh, there they are. Wondering where they would show up. Not a lot of encounters left. Come on, load properly, please. That straitjacket's a missable one because if you fall down into the next area, you can't go back up and get it. Leaving the cat here. If I remember correctly. This one that's a little bit of a pain? Yeah, tight corners, whatnot. And there is a raven. Just in a weird spot. At least I'm in a weird spot. If I exit... Oops. Yep. Nope, I'm dealing with this one. And then... No, I wasn't fast. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. Okay. Kind of gives you 5 seconds in order to figure out your situation there. Okay, what to do, what to do. Ooh, I'm all the way back here? Weird place to drop me off. Oh, for Pete. Make the argument of I'm barely touching it. Alright. Do I? Am I 6? I should be up to 8. Yes. Oops. Okay, we're going. We are going, sir. Okay, take 2. Strangely clustered. I don't remember them being this clustered together. Maybe. Should go around and deal with him first. He's the one that's kind of out of the way. Annoyed by that. He'll figure himself out. Back to your original spot there. It's fine. That's gonna get hard. That's gonna get harder. Because we're gonna get to a place where it's very tight. Now we can do it. Okay, 1 down. Yeah. Don't mind me. You don't see me. Ah, so much better. So much better. Oh. Go behind him. Don't need to distract this time. Cool. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm looking for some rooms. That's 101. I was in 104 when I did not. 102. 103. You have to go all the way around again.
Those parts aren't me. Where am I? Do you work here? Show some mercy.
I wish I could help. I'm sorry.
After all the questioning we did last time, we really don't do a lot anymore. Same model. That says... Oh, it just says suction on it. Okay. 105. 106. 108. 107. I think it's 107 that has what I'm looking for. I do. I'm going to repeat this, but while I do enjoy what this game has, it definitely doesn't stick the landing at the end. Oh no. What's the next room? This is a pain to find. Because usually all of the reveal walls, there we go, are ones that you can't walk through. And this is one of them that doesn't follow that rule. So it's an easy one to miss. Used. Which is the victor and which is the victor and which is the victim? Which is the which is which is which? Okay, time to see some old-timey medical practice. Woo! Go around all of the stalls, all of the sinks, all of the demons, into the medical theater. Where Julia apparently is, of all people. She shouldn't be here. I asked Rice what he thought about Ronan's proposal, and he just gave me a big smile. He always liked Ronan. I think he was just surprised the guy would do something as conventional and respectable as propose marriage. But he took it as a good sign. I think I should too. Come on. Thank you, game. Knowledge is nothing if not passed to new generations. May this instructional theater, constructed in 1899, pass the wisdom of learned doctors to future generations. A lot of previous theaters were usually used for education purposes. So you would usually see medical students in all of these chairs, pretty much looking down and going like, this is how this works. Like, there is still those kind of viewing areas. They're just not as open and it's behind glass and everything like that. But yeah, it's mostly for education. And remember, last time we had the ability to teleport. Ronan figured that out all on his own because he was forced to. And that's how you get around a wall. Jeez. Cool. Alright, time to catch up. One more straitjacket.
Hey, Ronan. Did you forget about me?
Yeah, I was having some food in the dining hall. It was lovely. There were demons everywhere. It was great. You just the two. In you come. Oh, right over here.
To be held in the harsh light is to be held to account.
Pick you up first. Oh, another news article. I can skip past this one because they usually just say the exact same thing. Carry on with their normal lives. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Keep you safe. You're gonna be so
No, we're not allowed to go there. Okay,
Everything is gonna
fine.
be fine. Don't you worry. Everything will be okay. I'm not gonna let anyone
Damn.
touch you.
I'm only over worried about shock treatment, but she's already a lost cause.
Don't call her that to touch you.
All right, fine. You go see what our comatose witness has to offer.
You're safe. I'm gonna not let anyone harm you. You're gonna be just fine. Everything is gonna be just fine. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Iris,
Everything will be fine.
don't worry. I'm here to help you.
Don't kill my sister.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Stay back.
Holy shit, she can see me.
I'm gonna keep you safe. You're gonna be so safe. Everything is gonna be fine.
I think I know that symbol. I've seen it before.
Where?
We'll be okay.
I don't know. Maybe in my mom's book.
You're gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be safe. You're gonna
They definitely look familiar.
touch you.
This one means protection.
Keep you safe. I'm gonna not let anyone.
I knew this was a
Wait. Contract. She still knows. She still knows. Sorry, kid. Maybe we didn't need you after all.
Yeah, she's gonna be over there with weird body language trying to open a door.
What the hell? She booted me out somehow. Alright. Let's see if anything here can tell me what the hell is going on with this girl.
Right. She's gonna go about doing that. The bed is way over there. We are all the way. So many pieces. And we have another person who can see us. Lovely. Flip that bed like nobody's business. Seems to be very agitated right now. I wouldn't downplay it. Brought to you by... I really want to get a nice close-up because I want to see if it actually says anything on those crayons. Nah, undiscernible. Okay. Drawing time. We have a bell. Oh. Quite the piece. What is it trying to say? Does it say hat? Like, no. Clearly burned at the stake. And is it a wind chime? I don't really know. Bell. That isn't just carved into the sand, that is dug into the sand. Nothing particularly there. Like, these are really good sketches. Again, underplaying it. Okay, between these two, they're clearly brothers. Two girls. Who, if they're holding hands, they're not fighting. They're linked. Twin sister.
What are these things for? Like art therapy or something?
No. Blue eyes. Cold as death.
Who had blue eyes? And death? What does that mean?
Blue eyes. Wolf eyes. Blue stare.
And we also have where she is with all of the gaping maws. It's very playful drawing, no. Tormented. It's perfectly safe. Chase. Captured by her assailant. And the blue eyes have been brought up before. So, pull them all together. What do we got?
Happening.
No, just run. Just run. Just run. Go. Leave her alone.
I'm so sorry.
Rose saved Iris's life, but paid it with her own. Bell killer's going after young girls.
Well, what was it? What'd you see?
Poor kid. Her sister freed her when they were about to be scorched, but she couldn't return the favor.
Leave us alone!
Iris, are you okay?
It's Rose.
She has flames.
She was possessed.
I told you to stay back!
Who are you? I'm Joy. You don't belong in this place.
Orderlies.
Crap, I'm so dead!
All right, Iris could be the answer to everything. Help her, help her. Come on, she's coming with us.
No, you're not taking her!
You
want the orderlies to shock her, she stays here. You want her to be safe outside, she comes with us. It's up to you.
Okay. I have so much to say about this, but we're just gonna get outside first. Oh boy, this whole situation really rubs me the wrong way in terms of how it's presented. Both Iris and her sister were captured by the Bell Killer. Iris escaped, but her sister was burned to death, burned at the stake. Now we got both of them. We gotta get out and get past these two.
I think we're kind of obvious.
Nah, nobody knows. I mean, we're just talking here, right?
There's more to it than that. You think we're invisible, but people can see things.
Only if they're looking in your apartment window while we're, you know.
Shh, keep your voice down. You're gonna make me blush.
We're surrounded by crazies, but I don't get this. We're acting like we're invisible compared to the other people who are supposed to be invisible right now. Now there is... No, I already picked that one up. Right. But... I think it's inside the room. Yes. Final straitjacket. Just before we leave. And a shower. No ghost in here, but there should be. Oh, there it is. Above the sinks.
Each had it to himself in some way.
Two. Okay, so there's this wonderful man.
I don't know if I'll get used to the staring eyes.
I'm just looking at the door. Random walkie-talkie over here. Let's just turn it on so that you go over here and never look around. So I can open the door. Two of you can slowly hobble your way out. And we're good. We've escaped. Weird that we didn't come through this entrance. Would have been so much faster.
Over here, in those shadows there. Coast is clear.
Why do my worst nightmares keep getting way worse?
Okay, let's figure this out.
Thought I would never see this again.
Alright, so what do you know about this contract?
Nothing.
Come on.
It doesn't make sense.
So he just asked you if you knew about a contract?
He didn't ask. He wanted us to admit to it. Admit to having a contract with... demons.
Demon?
We did nothing to him. He had no reason to go after us the way he did.
The way he did. He drowns one girl and burns another. And where have I seen that stake before?
Where have we seen it before? Well, remember that we thought we were going to one place and then we just kind of spun around and went to the cemetery? The museum was mentioned.
That's it. All right, look. Get Iris to the church. Make sure that she's safe. I'll catch up with you later. Go.
Okay, come on, Iris.
All right. Now what the hell does a museum gala have to do with Rose's murder?
So, I guess we're getting out of here. Yep, we're getting out of here. We're done. We're done with the asylum. We can move on with our life. Head over to the museum. That's our next location. So, the whole thing with Rose and Iris and the possession, the rather aggressive possession of Rose possessing Iris really doesn't make a whole lot of sense when the two of them showed up, of going like, okay, you're going to be really aggressive towards a ghost and pretty much act like everybody is against you, because I get having just like the immediate history of everybody putting you in the position of being in the hospital, doing shock treatment, all of that. But then you have a 15-year-old girl show up and a ghost and pretty much act the same way. And at the moment of pushback, of like, this is not what we're here to do, all of that aggression goes away. Also, really cool, because the first impression of Rose coming out of Iris was like, oh, this is going to be something a little bit different that we're going to be doing in game, only for it to have nothing to do with anything. There is no interaction with Rose being a specific looking kind of ghost, because there's no other ghosts that are on fire, like literally. Just her. I'm like, okay, we got some missing things. Like, it's half baked. I get where a lot of it is coming from, but there should have been more. To push into there. Now, there's not a lot we have to do left in Salem in order to pick up things, but there is still a little bit, just a few things to kind of poke our heads at. Now, I want to get back to the gas station first. So if I want to get back to the gas station, I need to go this way. There's the SOC. We're going to have the same thing here. I'm like, yeah, I've already solved this mystery, even though the parts are... Well, actually, they were revealed. They used to not be revealed. So there's a section we haven't actually been to in Salem yet. This little square. Tiny bit there. Do you know this man? Ma'am?
So weird. Somebody was alive, and now they're not.
What's weird about that? People are alive, and now they're dead. Some people die when they are killed. It's that kind of logic there. There we go. Now you figured out how to walk again. All right. Thank you, lady. So helpful. Now, that's the hotel. I need the gift shop. I need over here. Oop. Get stuck on things, please. The meaning of a dollar tattoo. Strange to be with a man who wears his life story on his skin. I don't know, that was the first impression, is that they kind of did a really cool thing with that. Now they're just kind of doubling back, going like, maybe this is a stupid idea. I traced my fingers over a dollar sound with fire around it. I had no idea what it meant. He told me he got it from his own father after he stole money for the first time. Commemorating the theft, like his father was proud of him. Having him admit to a crime like that was a bit of a shock, I'll admit. But at least he's self-aware. Sure. Yeah.
Judgment rains down on the unaware.
Get ready for the storm, Top Hat Man. You're gonna get struck by lightning because you're slightly taller than everybody else. Ah, there it is. Like, there's something in here that also you can collect there. It's for the fountain. Dedicated to the hope that this quiet town of Salem will be known for peace and reverie. Little do they know. And right inside here. Look at all the walls. Shame for it to be vandalized by, I don't know, a 300-year-old ghost girl.
Are we the Potter, or are we the puppet?
She said it in such a boring way. It's a pulpit. Hello, pulpit. Are we the Prottor? Are we the pulpit? But no, she's not going to say it in a wonderful way. No fun. Girls, no fun. But there's only 3 left. At least we don't have to worry about it too much. The Witchcraft Exhibit. In Salem? No. Crazy. Off we go.
Fitting for an investigation about a serial killer. All these murders have whipped this town into a frenzy. Now it all leads here to a gala celebrating a time when Salem found itself swept up in another whirlwind of hysteria.
Like, this is what Salem is known for. I don't think that there would be a grand opening. It should just be something that is just available all year round. Because I don't think they explain if it was, like, newly renovated or anything like that. Which would make more sense.
I'm
Alrighty.
so sorry. Tomorrow tickets will go on sale to the general public. Tonight is a special members-only event.
Gotcha.
I couldn't get out. The fire was merciless.
Nobody brought that up. Nobody brought that up,
I
ma'am.
couldn't get out. The fire was merciless.
Okay. So,
Gather
we walk
round
in.
and bear witness to the righteous proceedings of a trial of a most heinous nature. Now you, good woman Putnam, you stand accused of the murder of 7 of your own children, whom you claim were taken by forces of the devil.
Freak show better give me some answers.
I did not do it. My devil spawn of a child is my own accuser.
I love that line. My devil's spawn. My devil spawn of a child. You bore the child, therefore. That's usually where the line of reasoning goes.
And she began to have pains of the belly and bled most woefully from her nether parts for 5 days. Was or was not the puppet used to inflict this suffering?
It was not. I have engaged in no witchcraft.
Folded in half at the belly, thus proving her demonic curse upon her. Mary Warren is a witness to the same, as the girls played with it in the bedchamber.
The poppet was folded in half. It proves nothing.
Goody Putnam, do you confess your guilt at inflicting harm of a demonic nature upon your only surviving daughter?
I do not confess it.
And do you confess to the demonic contract that took the lives of her other 7 children?
I neither confess that.
Confess now, good woman Putnam. Confess and ease your soul of your most foul crimes.
I would dangle from up on high, then confess to crimes for which I am innocent.
Oh, come on. Give it about 15% more energy, please.
Yeah, I mean, if it's here, I guess it's true. I can't imagine what it would be like to have my own child turn on me.
Blows my mind that this really happened. Not just in a play, but in a life.
What, you just gave up?
Yeah. Seems like just about anything can get you accused of witchcraft.
I mean, you're still... You two, you're still at work. Like, you still have to act. All right, I guess you're done. All right, moving on. So, we are in the middle of investigation here, but it actually... You kind of have a bit of a choice here.
Did you see all those police lights?
I don't know. We came straight from a dinner in Boston. Maybe Jim knows.
So, I'm sitting there
Jim, did you
watching
hear
the
anything
Pats
about
game.
a crime or something?
What? Crime? No, I didn't hear anything.
Oh yeah, that's by that old rundown apartment building. I guess some drug thing got busted or something. Never liked that street.
Never liked that street anyway.
There were police lights flashing and a street block.
We don't have to do the investigation right now if we don't want to. We could actually just move on to other places and just kind of explore at our own leisure. We can just head out and head back and do the investigation later, which means that we can just go around and collect some things, including navigating a bunch of demon holes. This wonderful wheelchair. One with a toilet seat. Lovely. We kind of have to do this in order to get all the way over to the corner here. Terror on the tracks. We are collecting stones. We do have to be careful though, because they're everywhere. So we gotta make sure that we get through with no problems, no issues. Yeah, I can't figure out what that says. Well, Julia, get out. I'll be so happy when these are done. When they went to the history museum, he's not much of a history buff, but he knows I am, and he's so sweet to come with me. Ominous as it may be, I love that this little town has so much gravitas to it. That people have lived here for centuries. It helps me feel rooted to this place. Oogie. Okay, lady. Being a dishonest baker was one of the many offenses liable to result in the public shaming and torture of the stocks. Wonder why it's in the storage room, this thing. Like, not really relevant right now. Okay. Yeah, it's literally just like a little cubby hole that is just here. Now, I'm coming back. I think I just need to go through a couple of those things. Now it's just all about navigation. Okay. Check here. Got my rocks. We'll look at the story of the man in the box soon. 13 and 14. Should be one more, and I think it's all the way over there. Exactly. Be mindful of the walls. There we go. We can get over to the corner, and this should be number 15. Yeah, last 3. Okay. That's kind of just, that's the East Wing. Not used for much right now. Just reused pictures. Oh, come on, paper. Come on, picture. You're not supposed to look like this. Gotta load a little bit. You not wanna? I'm shy. There we go. One of the clues. Eventually we'll look for it there, but I think it's these doors. Yes. There she is. I think she has a good mind read too. Just about the two meeting together. Again, they're strangely out of order because even this bit, I'm like, okay, we already know that the two of them got along.
I wish people could read the sign.
Same. Very relatable. Alright, East Wing. Now it's time to go to the West Wing.
So it wasn't really a form of execution.
Right.
But someone still got killed by this.
Yep.
So... what's the point of this?
We were trying to get people to talk.
They talk. How could they talk with those heavy stones on their chests?
Doesn't make sense to me either.
The embodiment of C- in history. I don't think it's here. This just brings us back down to... unless there's a tiny bit in here. Ooh, there is. German witch trial. Finally, another trial. During the European witch hunts, Germany executed between 50,000 and 80,000 people accused of being witches, of whom roughly 80% were women. I do like that they expand the witch trial history to involve also Europe, because it wasn't just the Eastern United States that this was going on for. They give that little prod, and I'm very grateful that they do give that prod. Okay. I feel like this, like, if I was working something like this is exactly where I would be. Just, like, in the corner, just kind of invisible, nobody's paying attention.
Preserved that long.
He's focusing on wood? Come on, man. Meanwhile...
the train was so loaded down with ammunition, like we were a rolling bomb.
Good talking with you. There's the West Wing, all blocked off. Ooh. Hello. First witch execution plaque. Gallows Hill was Bridget Bishop, who claimed that I am as innocent as the child unborn when presented with the charge of witchcraft. Meanwhile, yeah, talking about a train. The thing we want to do is we want to get into the West Wing.
So it wasn't just witchcraft that we gave.
Doing that is this way. Persecution of witches was not common in Europe between the fall of Rome and the Protestant Reformation. Numerous laws explicitly forbade condemning people as witches or burning people for witchcraft. It stemmed from the notion that the very belief in witchcraft was superstitious. Like, you're wasting your time. We have other things to do. That's very true. Enjoying the train?
What made us derail that day? I always wonder.
No. Once the mighty iron trains charged forth on rails housed in this building, now this place has been transformed into a monument to our town's past, carrying history forward on the rails of our memories. What a way to word everything. And I pick up a rock. Those convicted of gossiping sometimes paid their penance via the dunking stool. Wish they would have showed a picture of what the dunking stool looked like. Alright. West Wing done, I believe. So how about we head back into the main hall and we finally do some investigating, 'cause that's going to get us further into the museum. This feels like the first investigation that actually really means something to the overall plot instead of the tiny little chapters that they're really focusing on. Because it kind of requires you to remember what's kind of happened. Like, for instance, this chair. You've seen it before. Used to drown. And that chair was being lowered into water. And it involves Sophia. So here's the problem I have with the dunking chair. It would involve, especially with the mechanism like this, that okay, it's over the kind of the shoreline of the lake in this case. The chair would be going into the water here. That has to be a sheer drop off for it to actually be something that's useful there. But I know most lakes wouldn't have a sheer drop off. It would be a very shallow. It would be very shallow right here. So it's like, okay, you put the chair in the water. Suppose the chair would go in the water, but you're just kind of sitting in the water right now, and you're able to still breathe, no problem. Now, if the other one involves Sophia, this one involves Rose. Not really exposed to the elements, but she was burned to death. And it was absolutely painless. No. Archer. So we got two methods of murder. Burned at the stake and the dunking chair. What else we got? What else can the museum help us learn about? Oh, a lighthouse. Let's go back to the C- students over here. What's making that sound? For some reason it's the stain. What's this blood stain been on this rock?
Confess, witch. Confess, or covenant. A demonic contract with the dark forces.
I'm wondering if it was a mistake to put like, there were a couple men who were also dealt with that way. Unfortunately, it was a majority of women who were involved in the trials. Back in Puritan times, they tortured people to coerce confessions that their actions were guided by a demonic contract. Just keep putting heavy rocks on them, slowly crushing them until they couldn't take it anymore or they died. Is it a way of murder? Technically, but it wasn't supposed to be used for that.
I remember a bright flash, and then nothing.
You will be there forever. Oh, this painting has to load again. Can't even render it down on the bottom there. For Judgment House. Owned by Judge Hathorne, one of the most influential judges during the witch trials, this historic mansion also served as courtroom for many of the trials and sentencing hearings during the hysteria that blanketed Salem in 1692. Keep Judgment House in mind, it's very important. Now for one of the more obvious ones. Yeah, a footprint would make all of those noise. The trapdoor. Swings down, and the victim hangs to death.
The time is upon us, Abigail Williams.
No.
You scourge of Salem. It is time to pay for your sin.
Hey, remember her? The ghost girl from the alleys is Abigail Williams. This is where we learn her name, because she doesn't actually say what her name is. And this gallows was actually used to execute her centuries ago. You can just kind of unload that very, very quickly. At least they do something with it. I believe the other ones are here. I love that they just leave court records just flying there. But they're replicas, so that's, I guess, fine. And there's one other thing right over here. Now, normally I would just call these like stocks or the stockades. But they call them the pillory of shame.
Some of the things in here. But wouldn't it be awful?
Being locked up in one of these things all day? I mean, just the physical discomfort.
Exactly. What if you had an itch?
Shit, people constantly mocking you? I don't think I could take it.
Wow. Alright, put it all together and what do we got?
The killer used torture devices like this to kill his victims. Why kill them like witches?
I'm surprised there's no exhibit for the accusers. It's such an important part of Salem's history.
Actually, several artifacts aren't on display yet. We're currently preparing them upstairs in the restoration room.
Better see what else is in here.
Why kill them like witches? Well, Ronan, you are in Salem, Massachusetts, and that's kind of all that it's known for. For most people, it's pretty cliche. So the killer is using Puritan-era style witch trial punishment devices on his victims. That is a loaded sentence. Puritan-era style witch trial punishment devices. Blech. I love that this was a case. 1 out of 1. We solved the mystery. Good job. Give yourself a gold badge. It happened twice, technically. Ugh.
People think this is easy.
That is not what the subtitle said.
Just make sure nobody touches anything.
All right.
What's happening outside?
Maybe you should go outside and check?
Pretty sure it was police lights.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, with that... There are train tracks. Do. Yeah, the game was getting a little bit boring. How about getting hit by a ghost train? That'll be a little bit fun, won't it? Is the game kind of forcing you to remember, hey, you're able to teleport across places, so maybe you should try and do that. Except you need the right angle in order to get across. The reason we're doing this is because there's things across that we need to get to. Like over here, there's another rock. Oop. Getting hit by a train is just no fun. And they don't do anything like classy with it either. Missed opportunity. See any good? Okay. Took a while. Train. I'm like, where was I? Right. Train. And also, a mystery. Imagine having to deal with a train and go to the washroom at the same time. I want this one though. High action using the sink. Completely insane. Just like, okay, I'm gonna just like reach over. There's so many trains going through, like my goodness. Oop, shoot. Oh no. Yeah, that teleportation just felt bad immediately. It actually got me. I felt a little bit of a sinking feeling. Just like, oh. Round 3. I was about to just like run straight into the train again. Great. Doing so well today. Shoot. Come on, you give me the option and then you're just like, no, I'm not going to teleport. Just like, ugh. There we go. Alright, back to the more of the witch trials. Ended in 1693, however, witch trials continued with legal sanction in Europe as late as 1750. The US got their stuff together, but Europe... I don't know, let's pick up another rock. Now, another thing about this is, now that we're going up, our time with the train is nearly over. But, great. Except, we can still get hit by the train here, so we still have to be mindful of the train. And occasionally, sometimes you can get hit by the train up here. It depends on the hit detection, though. So if you want to test your fate, good luck to you. Hey guys. Goodness, that train is loud.
About death. Always wanted to be a real cop.
Poor guys. Poor guys. Alright, train's done. Don't have to worry about the train anymore. When they litter collectibles like this, all of the same ones, makes me feel like you didn't need to have as many as you think you do. Like there's 3 in this area. Going like it could have been just 1. I mean, like instead of finding 15, you could find 5. All of these hidey spots, but they mean nothing. I missed where I was supposed to be going. Where are those? Blasted stairs. There. Propped up by Paint Can. Thank you, Paint Can. You are my savior tonight.
Joy? I told you to look after Iris.
You're not the boss of me.
I found a bunch of stuff downstairs. The Bell Killer is offing his victims as if they're witches. I'm heading upstairs to see what else I can find. I should have told you to follow me, then maybe you would have stayed at the church.
Reverse psychology is a wonderful thing. Yeah. This. Nope. Nope, this is exactly where I came from. Okay. Alright. Oh god, okay, nautical. Alright. Which are not available right now.
Just keep an eye out for security cameras and alarms.
Thanks for the tip, but this isn't even my first break-in today.
Yeah, this looks like the right place. Now let's see what these artifacts can tell me about the witch trials.
There are so many. 14 things. There are so many things to find in this place. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get the things that are not completely relevant to the case. and get them out of the way. Like... There you are.
House of justice, or merely of judgment?
And what mansion could that possibly be? And now we have, yeah, we've gone around. Okay, good. Except there is one other thing to pick up, and I think it's over in the back. Nope, not what I was looking for. But a witch book, the Maleficarum, yeah, or Hammer of the Witches, published in 1487, argued for the existence of witches, the nature and genesis of their powers, and how best to prosecute them. There's another witch book that I have that's actually available on the Internet Archive. How to become a sensuous witch. Spells, rituals, and recipes for a livelier love life. You know how much that book cost? 95 cents back in the day. This is the place. Because there's another one of our absent characters' books. Cards.
It puts me in touch with odd sensations, centuries old. I'm trying to focus on this killer, but the echoes from these sensations keep interfering, like deaths from the past, pleading to be remembered.
That's a no duh. It's like, I'm trying to focus on this one death, but all of this other death is just bothering me. Like, it's so hard to figure out. And I don't understand why. That nameless citizen whose generosity made the care for our town's heritage possible. We delicately restore the past to make a better future. Like, who donated to us? I don't know. We're already done with almost all of the rocks, which is good. In fact, no, yeah, it's right over here. Story of the terror on the. Does have some really good walls for scribbling. Weird that he doesn't say anything with this one. No one understands what horrors befall the souls they steal. Grabby hands. The Lord's Prayer Test. It was believed that the devil would never let one of his minions say all the words to the Christian Lord's Prayer. The accused were asked to recite it in full, and some of them, through merely forgetting some of the words, would find themselves in deep legal trouble. You forget to use the word my in the Lord's Prayer, you're a witch. I think there's something else in here. Isn't there? Ah, yes. I almost forgot this one. I'm like, there was something else. William Pyre's Book of Color Engravings, The Costume of Great Britain, shows a rotating pillory that held 4 people at once as they walked around a post like mules at a grinding mill. If you're going to put people in the stocks, you might as well get them to do something useful. Okay. We have so many things to look at in the restoration room. Kind of ridiculous. And it's also kind of ridiculous because the lighting isn't really particularly helpful here. Joy's also going around. And we're gonna need her for
Yeah?
some of it.
Whatever.
Beat? Don't know what beat means. I'm a judge, me. Me, judge me. Hey, remember him?
Hey, kid. I need you to lift up this painting.
It's called The Hanged Witch. It's creepy. Oh.
It's the killer's symbol.
Even as symbol can even show up as a ghost. Woo. So yeah, remember, Baxter is a character in the story. At this point, nobody's really figuring out, it's like, okay, what? Like, who could possibly be the killer at this point? Like, we're this far into the game, there's only one other location we're going to after the museum. And there's really is like, okay, who's the list of suspects? Anyway, let's pick up the rest of the things here. For instance, a cannon. Do any of these artifacts relate to the Bell Killer case? Would a Civil War era cannon really help us? Probably not. Use a barrel. I love that it's like, it's not that one that's lit up that you can inspect. It's the one in the darkness that you're able to inspect. It's wine. It's the random word. Wine. And the answer to that is kind of just another, no, not particularly helpful. We got an anchor. Stuck in place. Would a ship anchor really help connect what's going on here? Could we tie a person to the anchor of a really large ship, and when we drop anchor, we also drop person? Not really. A lot of the nautical stuff that's in here that we're able to inspect really isn't that helpful. Ship's binnacle? Nah. All right, all the tables, even the ones with no lights on them. Gotta pay very close attention to what is on the table because you never know what you can inspect, including in the dark, this ship's wheel. Again, nautical stuff. Really helpful? No. But so much of it is ship-based. Ships and witches, boats and witches don't really work. Psychic leads police to gruesome discovery. Local child medium Sophia Baker. Ooh. Rose Campbell, Salem High student, claims psychic powers. Probably for attention. Op-ed, do psychics really exist? Medium solves 20-year-old mystery. Another murder closed with psychic help. SPD responds. Here's something that's actually helpful. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at all the little bobs and ends and going like, is that a thermos? I'm like, yes. Like I'd be surprised. Ah, there we go. A notebook from the 1600s, listing those accused in the witch trials. And judgment. It's a gavel. He's old. We also have a scroll. Public summons. You have been summoned, antique scroll. Every time I fiddled around with like a prop scroll like that, like it never stayed that way after like 3 uses. It would either turn into like a single scroll, like the double scroll structure never worked. Whenever I used it, I would always screw it up. And it's just a picture. Whoop-de-doo. One of the existing witch trial related paintings previously used there. Zoop. Do we use the locket? The plaque? What would make a shiny, shiny sound? I have a joke about crystal necklaces. I'm not going to say it, though.
My apologies. It will always belong to you.
For shame, Bridget. This charade of your conversations with the spirit world will surely condemn you as a witch.
Nobody likes you. You keep talking to yourself. Puritans considered anyone exhibiting medium-like abilities to be witches. Here's your wonderful crystal. And that's actually it. Usually I miss like 1 or 2 and they're usually in the darkness. So, what do we got? Out of this litter of things, what do we got? We have 3 things that are going to help us with what's going on here. Well, a very important thing, which usually I'm missing there, is that the bell killer targets, the ones we know, are mediums or claim psychic abilities of some kind. If we were to connect that to back in time, and going on the mediums, yeah, medium-like abilities claim to be just kind of get accused of being witches. Which then we can connect to the bell killer based on the hanged witch, because witches get their comeuppance.
So the bell killer is targeting mediums because he thinks they're witches? That's insane. Who do I know that's interested in mediums? Baxter.
What's suspicious behavior? He's into bowling. That is very suspicious. So yeah, looking back all the way, the fact that he was here at all is very suspicious. The fact that he hid the book and when he was pulled off of the case, he did not just send all of the resources to where they needed to be. That's also suspicious, to meticulously hide things. And that Baxter was also looking for Joy.
And why the hell is Baxter involved in this? He dropped the case when he was demoted.
All right, found the killer's symbol. We got a suspect to look into. We're almost there.
And not one step closer to finding my mom.
Like I said, the world doesn't need another whiner.
You know what? Screw you. You don't understand.
Don't understand? My wife was murdered 3 years ago. She got to float up into the white light, and I got stuck here in this place with some bitchy teen.
Ugh.
Your mom's been missing what? 2, 3 days? Huh? And I guarantee you we'll find her. If I fail, if we fail, I'll never get to see Julia again. Ever.
We won't fail.
I don't need a cheerleader.
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't know about your wife.
Yeah. Look, we need to act on the information we found. You head off to the church.
The church? Where are you going?
Baxter's our prime suspect. I need to get over to his apartment and see if I can dig up any skeletons. Probably not a good idea for a fugitive to visit a cop.
Fine, I'll meet you later.
You just put him in the hood. All right, let's get Baxter back into the story here. Let's do that. Let's do that. Now, you think that they would be able to just like have us exit the museum because we're pretty much done here? Zoom down the stairs. But oddly enough, they're not going to make it easy. Things to do. Oh. Fine, you saw me. Okay. You jick. Surely you'll stop looking. There we go. You're all the way over there. Now I can deal with you. If you saw me for some reason. My back was turned and you were coming down the hallway and I was in your line of sight. That's how that works. Did not mean to press that. Okay. Just be done with me. Thank you. Gone a bit, but he's gonna turn around. Or not. Man, I could have gotten him. That's me. I thought there was a raven over there. Maybe I can use him if I'm He's coming back. Ooh. for me. Can we make it happen awkwardly? Okay. I just wanted a hug. Fine, don't get distracted. Can I do the leave me alone scream and wail? Will that work on them? Alright, let's try it again. Or not, because he has my back's turned. Nice. I can see why people don't like it, because honestly, there's no reason for the demons to be involved there. Let's stick Danny Phantom in anything compared to the nothing that he was there. Luckily, we don't have to deal with Ghost Train.
I just got a text. Did you hear something else happen just now? Something bad.
Someone told me about a murder.
No, like this just happened. Police are all freaking out.
What happened?
I don't know. Sounds serious, though.
I just got a text. Something happened. What happened? I don't know. I didn't read it. You have had too much to drink.
I have a bad feeling about tonight.
Oh yeah, that brain is just firing at all capacity.
Police aren't even safe.
Love it. But yeah, really no reason for us to be here anymore. We're pretty much done, so we just have to mosey on out all by ourselves.
Something horrible just happened at St. Benedict's.
The church? What's going on in this town tonight?
Oh, this town is all weird now. Oh no. Driving that far on that fast on cobblestone roads?
Where you headed?
Good luck, police.
Oh, no, no.
This, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is padding. There's really no reason for us to be walking ourselves back to the church. Like, the main reason is, hey, you're going to go back through this area, and if there's any sort of, like, collectibles or anything that's littered around on the streets, if you didn't pick them up, now's the time to pick them up. But if you're focused in actually picking everything up, then no, you actually don't have to do that. You're just following the way markers, which may or may not be helpful, and getting all the way back. The thing we want to do with the church is we want to find our way back to the original scene of the crime, which is not here. Thank you, my sense of direction. Hi, cat. I don't need you right now. Close to where I need to be. But I definitely screwed myself up. That's what I get with these waymarkers. There we go. There's our stop sign. There's where you need to be. And follow the roads. Being a ghost and going through everything? No. That's crazy. Need to limit that a little bit. And there isn't even like a new way of going to the church. It's the same route, so nothing special about it. Like, we do have the ability to teleport our way there, but even that is just like... At least I'm not good enough at doing teleporting in order to do that. I have other things to meaningfully practice that is not teleporting a murdered sole suspect.
Cops and criminals get used to red and blue flashing lights. Even after you get numb to them, sometimes they still chill your bones. You can get that feeling that this time, they mean something personal. Thank God you're okay. No, Joy, don't! Damn it!
Lieutenant, caught her sneaking up the side staircase. Says she's a friend of the priest.
Where's Father McCauley? Is he alright?
Just put her in my car. I want to interview her myself. Can somebody remind Broyles that the door's not going to watch itself?
Yes, sir.
It's a simple question, please!
Take it easy on her.
Hey, anybody find Baxter yet?
Nope. Went to the station, drove by his place, nothing. You know, there's definitely something wrong here.
I mean, honestly, have you ever seen anything like this?
Half this stuff feels like a goddamn riddle.
I don't know. It just seems so demented.
Demented? I gotta find this crime scene before they cart away all the evidence.
Alright, off we go. We're back at the church. I'm conflicted about this, but I'll explain why as we go. Police have been trying to find Baxter, but can't. Strange in the middle of a murder investigation. So it's like, okay, where's technically our prime suspect? Man, why are all the news back? All right, before we do that though, we have 7 out of 8 stories. Learn about the man in the box.
I've had a long career working as a state inspector for the Department of Mental Health. During that time, I've been to a lot of institutions, and I have seen a lot of horrible things. But nothing even comes close to the evil events that I witnessed at Fairhaven Sanitarium, the place they now call Lux Eterna. I first arrived in 1926 to investigate claims of overcrowding and neglect. However, Fairhaven's reputation was tainted long before that. In 1911, Fairhaven opened its doors for the first time. A notoriously violent criminal by the name of Jack Yates was the hospital's first patient. He was to be the shining example of the hospital's ability to cure the mentally deranged. However, when the superintendent's family was visiting one day, Yates broke free from his restraints, and he killed the man's wife. Since then, no one knows what happened to Yates or the superintendent. Well, that is, until now. Superintendent Wallace Halstead greeted me at the door. He seemed as empty and unkempt as the patients he lorded over. And as I conducted my evaluation, I couldn't help but notice how nervous he got when I passed by a small broom closet. And naturally, I felt it necessary to find out why. When I opened the door, I was hit by the overpowering smell of human excrement. As the light flickered on overhead,
It's an amazing door.
I was horrified at what I saw. A withering man lay shackled to the floor in a pile of his own filth. Years of sunless existence had turned his skin, hair, and eyes milky white. He'd been chained there for so long that his skin had grown over the shackles. It took me a moment to realize that the husk of a man was Jack Yates. The police arrived and Dr. Halstead was carted off. Doctors moved Yates from the small room for the first time in 15 years. The floor beneath him was permanently stained with the shape of his silhouette. They tried to remove the shackles from under his skin, but the shock of it all was too much for him. He died the next day. I watched as they walled up his tiny prison, trying to pretend that it never happened. I honestly hope he's in a better place, although the staff still claims to hear his agonizing wails coming from inside the walls.
There is some interesting imagery in a story like that. It does stretch believability a little bit. But it's the better of the stories. And now for the story of terror on the tracks.
My husband and I stepped off the platform and onto the giant hissing locomotive. I remember looking back at our small town and thinking of all the happy memories we made there. But I was excited to start our new life in Salem. I must have dozed off because I was startled awake by the sound of screeching metal. And as the train came to a halt, all I could hear was the torrential rain pelting against the roof. I looked out the window. There was only darkness. Then came the brightest flash of lightning I had ever seen. When my husband left to inquire about the delay, a woman in the back of the train started screaming. We rushed over to her and asked her what was wrong, but all she could manage to say through her sobs was something about seeing the spirits of the dead wandering in the rain. Stranger still were the passengers that were suddenly stricken with the painful memories of their past. It was at this point that I became truly terrified, so I set out to find Joe. When I reached the cab and still hadn't found him, I was worried. I looked out the front window and saw the train's conductor laboring to move a downed tree from the tracks. And there was Joe, walking up to help. However, instead of grabbing hold of the tree, Joe bent down, picked up a rock, and crushed the conductor's skull with it. When I left the train and ran up to him, I could see that this wasn't the Joe I once knew. Something had taken hold of him, something angry. Then he saw something that terrified him. He dropped the rock and ran off into the woods. However, right before he disappeared into the trees, during a bright flash of lightning, I thought I saw something chasing him, hunting him. I can only describe it as a ghostly specter, cloaked in black. But more likely than not, it was just a shadow. The authorities spent days combing the woods for Joe, but he never turned up. I tried to go back home, but the memories were too painful. Some nights I lie in bed, tortured by the thoughts of what our life could have been if we had never stepped onto that train.
We won't get our final story until after we are done inside of the train. Hi. Hello. The fun thing about this one is that they switched some things around. There's less hiding spots. And distractions really aren't around. Going. And then we get to play the hiding game. Being a little bit more brute force kind of helps out somewhat. Go away. You didn't find me. Oop. What the find me? Okay. Cool. We're still gonna go for him though, because he's a little bit more annoying. Down you go. Yeah, there's just you. All the way over there. You gonna come wandering over here? No? Should be able to just go all the way around, and there we go. Okay. You're right, sir. You are noble.
Nothing's sacred to this guy. The work of a real monster.
Same thing as we had to do before, but instead, no vacuum. Same walkie-talkie shtick.
Nothing's sacred to this guy.
I think they're all gonna say the exact same thing.
Monster.
Apparently.
Iris.
Well, here's the crushing. So the crushing actually happened. I'm conflicted with this part of the story because I get that this is unfinished business. But for the overall and that it's just kind of going like, okay, we have to include this, we have to include this, so it's included. Did it need to be though? So, Rush to Death. And Statue Stones. But pay in mind, improvised weapon. Because, of course, this is not how crushings were done. It wasn't just push a statue over on someone and that's that. And as we remember, this guy is weirdly strong. The more I press the square button, the more he'll get to his position than he needs to be, right? He is shuffling. Okay, I can't do it anymore. He wants to be over here. See, finally, like a ghost exclusive analysis of like, this is where it used to be. Is it helpful? No. I find this clue to be weird. Like, it's a crushing impact. Something powerful could only something powerful could crack the ground like this. Probably after falling from a height. It's not the statue, since it's over there. So something else made this impact. And of course, more shattered glass. Just like from my murder. It's like me.
No, please stop. Please leave me alone. No, please. What do you want? Stop, please stop, please stop, please stop.
Damn it. If she'd stayed at the hospital, she'd still be alive.
Don't hold too tight to what's keeping you here. Just remember, this wasn't your fault.
I'm sorry. What else did he do here?
Also, yeah, Rose was also supposed to be here with her. Rose did absolutely nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. Now, it kind of showed. Like, okay, came out of the window there. It's really assumed that the killer made this here, even though it really didn't show it in the overall flashback. Was it really important to make this kind of clue right here? Not at all. It really wasn't. All right, time to go up to the second floor. Gonna take a bit though. Especially when there's one other thing that we're able to get. Before we head into that room, I think. Yeah, I think it's here. Okay. The last one. Like, which darn room is it? There it is.
The path to life, the path to death. The steps hold trouble.
Could you give me some subtitles, please? Because you... Ugh. Anyway. Final one. No more looking at walls. Except called... Staircase. The path to life, the path to death. The steps hold trembling. That's a weird cross. Almost like it's not a cross at all. Moving on. Oh. What happened up here that he had to jump out the window?
Oh, shit.
A lot. Can I find my... Was my killer here? What do you think? Yeah, something else crazy happened.
With us? You just stopped talking.
See, this is the mannequin challenge. This is absolutely what it should be. It's totally calm. Well, she's fallen. Not seated. Needs help. And she's scared. So she came through the door. Into this room. And yes, this is a new investigation. They're just like piling on the investigations at this point. I don't know. I wouldn't call this twisted. This is kind of one of my... What I usually... in a rather dark way, this is usually how I sleep. I didn't stand a chance. I usually have one arm above, one arm below, and usually my legs do bend. But for some reason, he went crazy. Like throwing people against things. Jumped out this window. Aw, the food, it all got knocked over, but it's so packed in there that it stays there, no problem. Oh no, not the whatever this is. Not the food. Meanwhile,
everywhere.
There's one person here, still here. For some reason, they decided to interview her inside the room and not outside it. Still one thing missing, because I guess I missed it there, but thinking about that, we should be able to go to her running. She came in the room.
That girl was running away. That's who he's after. Not the rest of us.
Claims the killer was obviously after Iris, and they got in his way. We killed them. I think it's this guy over here. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing on the table? Why take out all these people?
We have cocktails already.
Okay, all right, everyone, let's get this picture. We've got to get to the reception now. Everybody, get
Happy wedding.
Oh, let me go. Let me go. He's here.
Look, you need to back off.
No. These weren't normal bell killer murders. These people were just in the way. He was after Iris. I wonder if there's more evidence in Joy's room.
I mean, going through this whole rigmarole of going like, it's pretty obvious. All right, Julia. Forgot about her. Ronan isn't religious, neither am I, but I'm starting to get through to him about the sense of tradition that comes from a place like St. Benedict. It was a breath of fresh air to be there today, at Father Macaulay, doing such fine work in the community. A real inspiration, that one. All the things I've done with troubled young people pales in comparison to what Macaulay has done. If there's such a thing as a living saint, he's got to qualify. Wouldn't it be a shame if Father Macaulay wasn't a living saint?
Oh no. Man, how am I gonna tell her about you? Why was the killer here?
Wound, robe, rosary. His neck snapped completely. Never stood a chance. Yeah, because the neck is not supposed to come out like that.
Died trying to protect Iris. Sure that won't make it sting any less for Joy. Damn it.
But hey, there's a witness around here. Oh, there's a cat. Where are you, kitty? You have some explaining to do. Here you are. Hissing cat residue is kind of I don't know, I put it pretty low on words that go together. The cat was spooked. But why? Staring, but then all of a sudden, oh, someone's here. And then threw it on the floor. People just need to stop bothering the killer. Like, keep bothering him, and it's all over the place. Man, come on. There's the 5 clues. So, well, he was interrupted looking at a photo. He's clearly looking for Cassandra and or Joy. Looking at a photo like that. Which means that he killed Father Macaulay at that point. But not before dropping the photo. Cat has nothing to do with this. The cat is innocent.
Well, I don't think she's the most ideal roommate. A little rough around the edges, but I'm sure you'll like the room, and in time you'll both get along really well.
Don't worry, I can get along with most anyone.
Excellent. Well, this is the room. Here we are.
Father? What's wrong?
Go. Go.
The killer came here looking for Joy, but took out Iris instead. This is a friggin' dead end.
So where's Baxter? If he's not here, he's got some explaining to do.
Well, what about you? You see anything? Hmm?
Hello again, Church Cat. I would love to just replay that footage of Father Macaulay just getting hit and then flying across the room ragdoll style, because it really just breaks physics. Came for Joy, but decided to kill Iris instead when you discover she was here. It's like, oh, I can finish. Ooh. Now, funny enough, even though we're in this room here, the cat isn't. The cat found his way all the way up here.
Easy, kitty. Easy, easy. It's your old buddy Ronan.
Weird uppercut.
What the hell was that? The killer dropped something in the vent. Maybe the cat can help get to it.
Yoink. If we drop down, weirdly enough.
Thanks for the help.
And just so the game does not let you miss anything, it's right there. Focus on the key. But you know, there's also a fork and a spoon over here in order to distract you. Like, come on. Just pick up the key. I mean, we're a ghost, but you know what I mean.
I know that house.
So it was a house that I said, hey, remember it. This is Judgment House.
That's it. The killer's hideout. I need to get to Judgment House.
This is also the point where we were able to get a very close look at the killer's eyes. So you would be able to see and actually make a really good decision about like who the Bell Killer is. The old Judgment House might be where the Bell Killer is right now. There we go. Also, hey buddy, what are you doing all by your lonesome? He's really just chilling down there. Like, he has really no reason to be down there. Hey man. Now the thing is, I'm currently possessing someone. It means that he can't find me. Surprise! Possessing people, better than hiding spots. We have to get out. This is a really odd one because, like, the first time I played this, I was like, okay, how am I supposed to get out when the poltergeist is all the way around there? You can target it and do it all the way from over there. It feels like you're not supposed to be able to do that, but you can. And then take an exit route. It'd be better if there was just, like, you didn't have to do this at all. But oh well.
Do some ghost thing and get me out of this. Come on.
Trust me. You're better off this way. The killer was
Right.
after you.
Oh. What happened in there?
He didn't suffer.
You're lying.
He died protecting innocent people. That's all you need to know.
He died because of me.
Hey. You know, pleading insanity isn't going to help you much on 2 counts of trespassing and felony escape. So you can drop the crazy act, all right?
Rex, man, give her a break.
You have anything to say for yourself? No? That's what I thought. We'll figure out what to do with you at the station.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Joy, tell him what we found. They need to know it all. You gotta find a way to convince him.
Where are you going?
Killer left a clue about the ancient mansion we saw at the museum. Tell Rex about that too. It's probably the killer's place.
Okay, I'll try.
I find it odd that the Salem Police Department has a SWAT team. It's too small for that. Also, Joy was not put in a police car. He was just put in a car. Wink, wink. That's not good. I love that this was technically like a separate case of just like, because we didn't do anything. Rex is carting off Joy off to custody in a not marked police car. Maybe not a police car at all. I know the harsh sting of losing your freedom, but it's better than losing your life. So with that, we have one more place to go. I just want to make sure. Let's see. We have one more location to go. So we have this. We get this. One more Cassandra. We have our final ghost story to get from that last location. I think we're all set. Good. We haven't missed anything. Lovely. On our way to Judgment House. Normally, I would say this is kind of where we end it. But Judgment House is the last location in the game. There's roughly maybe about 40 more minutes to this game. So I'm going to keep going. Again, we're going to finish this. And get our way going. You weren't here before. Why are you back? You don't need fishing for help that you don't need. And like investigations or anything. We are wrapping things up. To communicate there. That's why they put mediums in. It kind of works a lot there, especially when the amount of characters in the game is just so small. It really isn't needed. And even though the character, like the amount of characters to focus on is so small, you would think we have a better idea of like who the killer is. Other than, you know, just being like one obvious person, that being Baxter. And Judgment House is inside. In we go.
I always heard this place was such an interesting museum back in its heyday. Now it's just a place propped up by rusty nails and rumors. A place you wouldn't dare your worst enemy to go into. Alright, there it is, Judgment House. Huh. Maybe this abandoned place isn't so abandoned after all. I hate it when I'm right.
Judgment House. I really like Judgment House. I feel like it's one of the first places that they really like mapped out for an areas there, because it is very tight. And I feel like they were really inspired in order to like have one of these very large houses back from that time, because it's really easy to get lost. Like, I get why people don't like this area too much because of its design and whatnot, but that's exactly why I like it. It's trying to be roughly what it's supposed to be. It does make finding the last few things in here pretty annoying to do, but if you go slow, you'll find what you need there, including our final story. Ashes to Ashes. 11 of them to find. A bunch of them are going to be in very tiny rooms. Again, it's about going slow. Not about running around with your ghost head off. Doing a nearly headless Nick in this situation. But you'll make it work. Including our final bits about the Bell Killer. They're different from everything else. They're poems. 4 of them, to be exact. She who does the devil's dance shall drop and crack and sway, and jig upon the rope perchance, the devil's dues to pay. There's 4 of these poems, and my first inclination was that it's connected, like each poem is connected to a murder that's going on in that. But I'm not able to like strongly back it up. Like with that poem specifically, if I were to go back to it really quickly, it does have to do with, yeah, and jig upon the rope perchance shall drop and crack and sway. So that has to do with the gallows and being hanged. Although the only death that really we've seen with the gallows is with Abigail. The next poem, a natural bridge of ghost and flesh, you harvest souls as though a friend. You cut with scythe, with pitchfork thresh, until you meet your righteous end. Here's where my idea kind of falls apart, because the second one doesn't have to do with another another part or another method that was kind of used there, because we've had 4 methods of death there, which is hanging, crushing, the drowning chair, and burning at the stake. This one doesn't follow any of them, other than the general idea that the Bell Killer is serving as the personification of death, coming along with his scythe. Yeah, there's something else here. I think it's over here. Yes, very tiny, surrounded by places that we can't get through, but yeah, even Julia doesn't stop being here. I asked Ronan today if he believed we go on after we die. He wondered if I meant like heaven or like ghosts. I told him I meant ghosts, and he just laughed and didn't say anything. I'm gonna take that as a no. Oh, how silly you didn't believe in ghosts until you became one. Crazy. Okay, let's head back. We have that piano. A very sad piano. The keys look fine, but everything in its guts doesn't actually exist anymore. Whoop. Don't get turned around. Get turned around. There we go. There you are. Again, closet spaces. Get twisted and turned around, and then all of a sudden you're just like going through as many walls as possible, and you're just missing things. I think that's the third one. Yes. Now, even though it says 173 up there, a weird thing about the bits with the collectibles here is that it doesn't count all of the collectibles that are inside of the stories. So if you can count all of the collectibles inside of the stories, which there's far more than 8, you actually get up to 242. Crazy. Well, thank you for being here. I always appreciate it. And then I'll of course pop by. I'll probably be in the background while I'm doing things. See ya. Yeah. Next thing, I'll go into here. Go into this little bit. No. The sun is telling me no. Back into the hallway. Remember that we can remove things. I think that's the last time we ever used the remove ability as well. Like, we got this ability, it was like, we gotta try and use it at least once in each area, right? And if we don't, well, oops, we didn't use it. All right, poem number 3. You technically can read it on the wall, but at least they make it easier to read in the menu. Let man beware who keeps so foul a witch from a harm beneath his wing. He casts her spell upon his soul and wreaks damnation's reckoning. Don't protect witches. Don't. The silly thing. Protecting witches is silly. I can only imagine if you were to go into a derelict building like this and you see all the books right over here, I can only imagine what you would actually find that is able to be read. Pay no attention to the gap there. All the information about our killer. To rid the land of nature's guilt through exercise of power requires more vigilance than thou wilt. 'Tis always judgment hour. And that's it. Everything about our killer. What did we learn about it through the information about our killer? Honestly, not much. Other than, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or maybe 4, because those are the same, right? We just learned a lot. Yeah. 4 digital deaths, the maps of the killings, the news articles that don't actually point us to anything interesting there, the tabloid articles, which gives us a little bit more, missing persons report. We didn't learn too much about the Bell Killer. Really didn't. Kind of sad.
Holy shit. Look at all this crap. What is this? Oh, fresh paint. This one's just been done. The witch who flew from her own mother, herself a witch, herself in flight, shall meet her death like so many other, and leave both realms this very night. Oh no, that's about Joy. This looks like the Bell Killer's war room. I should check this all out.
Love that there's just one poem fantastically about a single person. Because it really can't connect to the other people. Because who else flew from her own mother other than Joy? We don't know enough about the other people to make that assumption. The devil made me do it in 1903 and Friday, a week before Christmas. Mayor Studer deflects blame after being charged with a series of torturous murders. I didn't do it. I'm just really good friends with the devil. Also pay no mind to the, fireplace and it having a hole and whatnot. It's a crazy map. The locations of all of his murders, but in far more detail than the police know. Isn't in detail that's helpful to us? Not really. Especially when you're putting just a bunch of scribbles there. So we have 1, 2, based on the photos, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be the 4 people that we knew in the info about the murders. And then we have, I guess, us. I think there should be one more? Maybe? Personal items. Like a teddy bear with a knife in his gut. I stole the Bible. A baseball. I stole cream, a dream catcher. Another doll. I stole some car keys and some change, like a couple pennies and some nickels and quarters. Some random game controller in there too. That is tinier than the teddy bear's head. Yeah, based on this one has a lot more information to it. The execution devices. Can't tell if he's consistent or schizophrenic. Because, yeah, I kind of went like, if anybody found this room, it's pretty much the I did it room of here are the 7 people hung, the 5 people crushed, the 4 people burned at the stake, and the 8 people by drowning chair. So there's way more than we kind of knew based on the map and our information about the killings, because there was 5, 9, 16, 24 murders. And he has his own list there. 3rd hanging victim discovered in 1940. And these aren't just like current stuff. This is throughout the years. Bizarre hangings and 3 recent murders harken back to Salem's shameful past. Similarity to the witch trial, using the same tools.
Wait. Similar murders, multiple killers, decades apart. Is this a string of copycats? A conspiracy? What else did you hide in this house, you freak?
A lineage of murderers?
What was that?
Demons.
The vibrations I'm getting from this house are off the charts. It's like the museum. The old violence tries to take over the new. I have to tell Officer Baxter about this. This could be a vital piece.
I love the term off the charts. I feel like something can only be off the charts if you are not making the charts yourself. Cassandra could totally make her own charts and go, well, my chart is bigger now. Unusually vitriolic. And just plain unusual. This house is crazy. Okay. This, I believe, is our last demon encounter? I think this is it. Now, the fun thing about it is we get to do it in tight spaces. Come on, Crow, you're supposed to do your job. They're not taking the bait. Ooh, Come on. At least get one of them. And I can get the other one. Nice. All right, that was easier than it's been in previous. Yeah, you can get stuck on the random ghost walls that are all over the place in here. I want to go back. There's my fireplace. Okay. Things to find in here. Things to find. Like on the ground. This one feels like it should have been earlier found than the third last one. Like I don't even know him. And I felt so close, but to a man in my imagination. I would think that something like a criminal record should really come up earlier in the relationship. Not even his past that is keeping me away now. That he didn't tell me right away. He said his tattoos made it obvious. But I don't know. Not obvious enough, I guess. Might be too late for us. Like, again, if this was ordered in any conceivable way, because this is the last location, like, are they really expecting for people to, like, not pick up things randomly when they're going around Salem? Kind of annoying. Also, not in the bathtub. Silly if it was in the bathtub. Hey, there's another one somewhere. If you know I can get out of here. There we go. This room can't go around that wall there. But if I go over here, what do I find? Ah! There we go. Ah, there's another notable thing, a spinning wheel. If I go around, it's just a long hallway. Now I'm back at the fireplace. Plenty of mattresses. And our crow bud. Not exactly what I'm looking for here. Where is... There's my bathtub. And it goes into the toilet, which I already picked up. Pretty sure. So if I was to look at not the pause menu. That should mean I should have 7 and good. Good. Funny enough, you can't go back through the fireplace. This would be the place, in my mind, this would be the place where this would be like a central place everybody would go. Especially if it was like a field trip or anything. It's like, this is where you would have lunch before you go into your next excursion. The kitchen. The small kitchen area inside the house was used by servants for tea preparation, but not for major meals. Those were prepared by slaves in a detached kitchen because of the danger of kitchen fires in colonial times. The danger of fire was very real and common. The house probably had a half dozen different kitchens in its time, and there was none left standing on the grounds today. Gone or burnt? We won't know here. Three, 2. It'll be a while before we get 1. Oh, there is more demons. Okay. Ah, right. There is 4 in this. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm not gonna deal. I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna deal with them. I'm gonna go in here. See what's in here. Not interested in demons. The demons are boring. Instead, I'm gonna listen to what Julia has to say about random things. Sometimes that man can be an insensitive beast. I know he's got pressures at work, but home is the place where you let go of all of those things. It'll be better tomorrow, I know, but for now, I'm done thinking about it. Okay, let's go deal with demons. I'll save for the second time. Hopefully it'll be the last time. Second to last time. This will be the last encounter with demons. The only thing is that okay. I was about to say, it didn't feel like... It didn't feel like it was in a good position to distract anything. But apparently it was. Oh. You... Okay. Okay. I'll give you that. Except... Ooh, that was close. That was close. I should have died. I think I was just out of range. But yeah, that shouldn't have been allowed. Okie dokie. You down, two to go. Pick up the last witch trial. February 4th, 1693. The witches are all released, and Governor Phipps will not permit further prosecution. Yet, it is this girl I fear most. I did threaten her with pressing, and with glee, she did tell me of the tortures of her own father, who pressed and ducked her unto drowning, would she not accuse his enemies. So I am not the first man to use this creature, and she is not afeard of my rebukes. Those who see the spirits of unnatural worlds are as conjurers to her. She will not be dissuaded in her pursuit of them. She must be destroyed by any available measure of the law. Quite important, that one is. The parlor of the judge's house, what we would call the living room, was one of the more spacious indoor areas available for holding trials. The witch trials were sometimes held here, sometimes in another public building, such as a tavern. Where are my ghoulies? There they are. Just follow? Kind of. I'm making a mistake. I'm making a mistake. I'm making a mistake. I'm literally getting out of their range of where they can go. That's the only reason why I'm living. Wow. Like in the past, I've done very badly at this last section. But apparently now I'm just like... know the sneaky way of doing things. And... we're good. All done. Although I don't think we get anything for dealing with any of the demons. Unfortunately. But now we can explore in peace, I guess. Right. something over here, but I gotta go around and teleport in. There we go. The last Julia thought. There it is. Pondering the proposal. What stopped me from saying yes to Ronan? Maybe it's marriage in general. I always thought I'd just be an independent woman in this world. I may not have processed this possibility enough, but I can't let him go. Can't? Julia, complete. Oh. Ah, that's the place. That's the place. If we go through this door, there you are. One left. We're not gonna see it until we get the next little bit. We must descend. And weirdly, this black, we can just observe. Feller and holding cells.
Oh my God, Baxter? I should have been the one that stopped you.
Ronan? What the hell is going on?
You sick bastard. Why'd you do it? Why'd you bring back the witch trials and kill all those innocent girls?
You think I'm the Bell Killer? Are you insane? I've never killed anyone. You gotta help me. What is this place? We gotta get out of here.
Oh, we gotta get out of here. All of a sudden, we're buds. You need to tell me what's going on here.
So... everything was pointing to him, but I guess not.
So, who killed you?
The Bell Killer, you idiot. But I didn't get a good look at his face.
Love the feeling of just like, okay, I was killed by the Bell Killer. I'm not gonna, I don't know what he did to me, but he did something really bad with my eye, though.
Where's the killer?
No idea. He could be anywhere, but when we fought, he said something I didn't understand at all.
Wait. The killer actually talked?
Not much, but I think I hit a nerve. I told that bastard he'd be dead soon, but he said, I already know death. And then something about his instrument of death will kill again tonight.
My instrument of death? But he kills different ways every time. I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
We gotta figure out what that means. What were you doing here?
Following a lead. I never dropped the case. Had this psychic, Cassandra, working with me. And we figured out the Bell Killer is hunting mediums, like a witch trial execution copycat. At that point, we couldn't let it go, even after Rex demoted me.
So that's why you're at the museum. Do you know where Cassandra is? Is she still alive?
Last I checked, yeah. I took her to a safe house outside of town.
Oh my God, she's alive. I was sure she'd be dead too. Joy would be freaking ecstatic. She shouldn't end up alone.
I think that's the worst delivery Ronan's had in the game so far. There's just nothing behind it. But also kind of falls under his delivery, unfortunately. So Cassandra's alive. Does that change anything? Not really. It just means, hey, this person who was introduced very early on, she's around.
Cassandra ever bring up her daughter?
Wouldn't shut up about her. We looked for Joy for days, but it was too risky. Cassandra has been begging me to track Joy down, but I haven't found her yet.
You're not gonna believe this. Joy's been helping me tonight.
Figures a cop like you would need help to get this far.
You mean like what? The help you got from her mom? Alright, you get back to Cassandra. Make sure she's still safe and bring her back to the station.
What are we gonna do?
I'm gonna quickly check out the cellar and come up with a plan. I hope.
That line just baffles me. Get back to Cassandra and let her know what's going on. Oh, by the way, you're a ghost now? Just appear to her. I'm not going to even get into the thought process of ghosts and how far they're able to go and travel, because either like Baxter might just not be able to do that at all. But who knows? Like, Ronan's able to go everywhere that he can possibly go in Salem. So can they even leave Salem? Who knows? Like, yikes. Yikes, that line just bothers me. So Baxter's going to go all the way to the outside of town, to the safe house, to let Cassandra know what's going on there. Meanwhile, I'm going to stay in the cellar. I'm not going to go anywhere. And figure out what's going on in here. Final plaque. The cellar in the home of a judge was often the temporary jail for prisoners awaiting trial. This custom was certainly in practice here, for which trial suspects were held awaiting the judgment of Judge Hathorne. Long-term holding facilities were unnecessary in these cases, as the penalty for witchcraft under English law was always death. And with that, apart from one candle and book, number 9, we have every collectible. And yet, there's something down here to reveal.
What the hell happened down here?
Weird little investigation that'll happen here. We don't know who you are. Pointing. He looks pretty judging. He looks accusing with his pointing.
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
Somebody else's punishment. A lovely bed. On top of that bed, an even worse place to be. Why would you need to cage someone who is already locked in a tiny cell? Inside here is the final collectible. Ashes to ash. We'll finish up here before we listen to that story. Ooh, candles. Such an important clue. We got the symbol. Hey, remember her? She hasn't been around for a long, long time. She's absolutely singing and playing. This is a perfect place to be. She is pleading. She is in prison.
You stood for justice. How is this just?
It'd be nice for Abigail to just, show up, just kind of be around a little bit more in the story. Maybe. Just a thought. All right. What am I missing? Right, the shackles. So what happened down here? We have our man knowing punishment is due. Punishment that Abigail will receive. Having to do with the symbol of the bell killer?
You claim righteousness, but you know your guilt and cannot deny your punishment is due.
I thought you stood for justice. How is this just?
The courts are not a place for your murderous whimsy. You are a corrupt heathen. The families of those innocent souls you executed through false accusation of witchcraft will exact their righteous justice tonight.
False accusation?
What is that nonsense you draw?
My mark will burn like a brand on the flesh of this town. If it takes me to the ends of eternity, I will personally make the bell toll for every witch in Salem.
Wait. The guy who killed me is Abigail. She might be the bell killer. How is that possible? I gotta get out of here and figure out how to track her down.
How could she be? There needs to be more breadcrumbs sprinkled in, because the reveal of that feels a little bit weird. The prime information actually comes from just this area. The end of the witch trials. But there was one more person who was put to death. With glee, she did tell me of the tortures of her own father, who pressed and ducked her onto drowning, would she not accuse his enemies. So I am not the first man to use this creature, and she is not afeard of my rebukes. Someone who was going around trying to find witches, accusing everybody else, having the ability to just kind of know who was a witch and who wasn't. We will learn more pretty soon.
Dispatch. Has Rex checked in? He's transporting a suspect to the station. We can't get him on the radio. He isn't picking up his phone either.
No, he hasn't checked in. We'll notify you when he should.
Copy that.
Oh shit, if Rex is missing, it could be going down right now. Where'd you take Joy, you asshole?
Where would Abigail take joy? All the way back, like this is mixing up all of the clues that we've gotten beforehand, including the ones at the museum, wink wink. Because that's where we learned that, yeah, Abigail was killed by the gallows, using the fourth when it wasn't used by anybody else in modern times. Baxter was mentioning the instrument of death and how the Bell Killer was going to be using this instrument of death tonight. And if she is the Bell Killer, how could she do it?
Yeah.
Not directly.
Instrument of death, meaning her death, where she was killed. The gallows at the museum. Hang on, kid. I'm on my way.
If Abigail is the killer, and her instrument of death is the gallows at the museum. Similar murders have been happening in Salem for over a century. There's a string of copycat killers. Based on that theory, technically, is not a copycat. It is a singular entity who is using other people in order to do it. That would mean if Abigail is not able to do it herself. Joy is right now with Rex, so would that mean that Rex would actually be doing it? The fun thing about this is that, oh, that door's open now. So that means we're all the way back at the entrance and we are all done inside of Judgment House. We have a quick exit this time. We are let out to Salem once more, just for you to make sure that you have collected everything. Before we head to our final location, let's hear the final story. Ashes to ashes.
Salem wasn't the most exciting place for a couple of rambunctious 13-year-olds. And playing with my friends after school, they usually required a healthy dose of imagination to spice up the underwhelmingly bleak landscape. To us, Salem's history was just a bunch of creepy stories and tourist attractions. I mean, witches didn't exist, we all knew that. That's why Robbie Barnes was the laughingstock of the entire school. I mean, he actually believed that they were real. Looking back, I wish I hadn't teased him so much. Maybe then he'd still be alive. I forget which one of my friends actually came up with a plan to prank Robbie, but it didn't take him long to get us all on board. My job was to find an example of an old spell. I mean, it took me all of 15 minutes. And the library had practically every book ever written on the subject. The next step involved the Judgment House. It sat up on the hill, abandoned. Everyone said it was haunted. What made it even creepier were the rumors that Judge Hawthorne burned the remains of accused witches in the house's various fireplaces. That's where Robbie comes in. We dared him to sneak into the Judgment House in the middle of the night and collect a handful of ashes from each of the fireplaces. Then he'd have to light some candles, sprinkle the ashes, and read the spell. We told him that if done correctly, the spell would supposedly blow out all the candles. If he agreed to do all this and the candles so much as flickered, we would promise to stop making fun of him. We could see that he was scared, but to his credit, he agreed to go through with it. What we didn't tell him was that we had set up a hidden camera to catch all the hilarity on tape. The next day, Robbie didn't come into school. We assumed he had chickened out and was too embarrassed to face the music. Then I heard that Robbie went missing. I felt the chill run down my spine as I retrieved the tape from our hidden camera. I pressed play and fast forward until I saw Robbie. He was doing just as we instructed him to. But then, a shadowy figure crossed in front of the camera. Robbie turned in horror just as the camera cut to static. When the image finally returned, Robbie was gone. And the only sign that anything had happened at all was the now smoldering fireplace over in the corner.
Unfortunately, it's well, he went missing. We're not going to get too much of a satisfying ending to that one. Other than kids can be terrible. This is the last opportunity that we have in Salem. We're able to go around to the entire map in order to pick up anything that we might have missed. Or, like us, we have everything. We're able to just go through where we need to go. Don't think we can... Oh, we can go back into the police department if we want to. Fun. Don't need to, though. We can just head over to the side of the SOC and back into this history museum. And get loaded with a whole bunch of information there. Proceeding to the final encounter will make it impossible to return to Salem. Time to go.
No one deserves to be murdered. And when the psycho trying to kill someone pretends there's some grand justice behind it, that just makes it all the more twisted.
Oh, how annoying. There's more of them. It's just a shame that we're not able to just, like, walk around them. What a terrible obstacle. How dare you?
Joy!
Ronan, help!
Not another step.
No, not you, Rex. This has nothing to do with her, Abigail.
Oh, but it does. For 300 years, we have executed the witches who corrupt our fair city.
Down there. Let's go.
Those who try to mask their demonic contract and leverage powers they should never possess.
Just like you have.
Don't you dare compare me to her!
Easy, easy. Put your hands up!
Help!
Don't do anything stupid.
Hands up! Stop what you're doing. Hands up! Do it now!
Abigail, stop! Rex, you piece of shit. What are you doing? Not now. This was you.
I want you getting closer to the truth.
Ronan, do something!
Hold tight, kid. I'm on my way.
I inconvenienced you with a tiny little bit of demons. 20 seconds, not a lot of time. Shame, these two wanted to be cops so bad. Alright. So, what can Joy do? She can think about hiding. No, and the time is, we can do as much time as we need to. But it's the thing that's going to make Rex stagger a little bit so that we're able to move there. Abigail can scream. And can disorient ghosts.
It's over, Abigail.
You think that over 300 years she'd be able to do a little bit more as a ghost?
No!
Joy!
So let's do that again. That is what's going to happen when you run out of time. Oop, don't get stuck. Well, at least they shuffle things around. That's nice. How do I stop Abigail? By touching a child.
The time is upon us, Abigail Williams.
No.
You scourge of Salem. It is time to pay for your sins!
This can't be happening. You want to use memories against me? Two can play at that
I know the truth about your death, but I still don't know the truth about mine. Did you use Rex to kill me?
Rex was my most influential. The most respected, the most feared official in town. Of course I did.
Abigail did use Rex to kill me, my own brother-in-law.
How could Rex have done it? Rose's killer had blue eyes.
I didn't use the same killer for every murder.
Baxter.
So yeah, if you were guessing Baxter was the Bell killer, you technically were right. There was just more than one killer. The Baxter killed Rose. Rex killed Ronan.
Why did you kill Baxter?
I eventually kill all the killers I use. Especially ones who get close to the truth.
And then discards them when they're done.
I wasn't close to the truth in the apartment. I wasn't one of your killers. Why did I have to die? I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. How could I? You made me kill her. If I'm going out, you're coming with me. We all got a dark side, sometimes obvious, sometimes not. If we're lucky, we keep our dark side hidden. By law, Rex was a killer. But the law doesn't always see the truth. Fortunately, Joy did. And she would never press charges. She might even help Rex cover his tracks. One thing's for certain. She's a better person than I was at that age. A kid who deserves forgiveness. She's paid her dues. And committing a few small crimes, searching for your mom, well, even the coldest cops would forgive those.
Mom!
Hasn't been a Bell Killer murder since the night Abigail met her final end. But the case never officially closed. But memories fade, time heals. With luck, Salem will move on and find peace. Death repays debts, my father always said. Forever I believe that. But truth be told, this life ain't over until you're honest about what you owe. Set everything right. Settle your debts. Only then can you move on.
Ronan?
Platinum trophy. There we go. That is it. That is Murdered Soul Suspect. All done. Okay, so that ending. It's a fine twist. It's a fine twist of just like, okay, we're no closer, but putting all the pieces together of just going like, okay, the twist is putting all that together of going like, okay, Abigail possesses people to do her murders for her because she's still on the witch hunting spree, which is like, okay, why would she be murdered? She was on the witch hunting spree and was doing good because if we want to completely bury everything that has happened with witch trials. Hey, if we have a person here who has some sort of ability in order to find witches, wouldn't that mean that she's kind of a witch too? So yeah. And especially when they're turning around and going like they were false accusations that they went on, that means that this person accused this person and killed her, or that and them, and a whole bunch of other people. So it's like, okay, you're just like believing a person who was wanting to murder people without the ability and physical ability in order to murder someone. Now do that for over the course of 300 years of being dead. Moving on. So yeah, there are some strengths with that overall ending there. I kind of feel like it's a little bit too quick though. Having Abigail possess multiple people of going like, oh yeah, I don't kill with the same person. Kind of smart there. And then when you think about it, it's like all the people who have been killed over the course of the game of going like, okay, so we have Rose. So that was Baxter. We had Rex who killed Ronan. And Rex was going to also be the one who was going to take Joy out. That did leave Sophia. Who killed Sophia? Well, we have Ronan. Twist. Hey, who killed me? Well, it was Abigail because she had to kill her killers. Now, the thing is, the ending's too clean. Now we just also have ghost cops going around now. Like it's an RIPD or something like that. Ronan being able to go to Julia, even though he is technically a murderer. I guess Heaven's gonna give it a pass. I guess it's gonna give it a pass. Whatever there. So, this game is pretty much just forgotten at this point. It came out, was an interesting idea. I see where the flaws are. When it comes to it, I really love the start. It is a great first impression of what it's doing. But that first half is so spread out of things. And then you're looking at all of the things that are actually happening with it in terms of like its overall pacing. The things that it's able to mix between in terms of the murder mystery versus like being able to explore Salem in the amount that you're able to, which is something there. But then all the collectibles that you're getting. Like some of them are really cool in terms of the stories that you're able to get there. Those are nice little tidbits of writing that you're able to get. But there's too many. And I've mentioned this as we go, where it's just like, okay, you're finding 16 of these things in order to unlock this thing. If it was a third of them, that would have been so much better. Finding the wall inscriptions from Abigail, which don't really do anything, which can be said about a lot of the collectibles there. Like all of Julia's things don't ultimately amount to anything. Of just like Julia being Ronan's loved one and kind of getting a little bit more to that. It's a lot of fluff. And it's fluff that doesn't actually help or flesh out anything that needs to be really fleshed out. The background information, the witch trial histories, those are really cool. Stretching it out, going like, yeah, it wasn't just in the Eastern United States, it was also in Europe. And it was on longer in Europe as well. It was really good. Really good. Maybe it could have been a little bit more balanced. Like there was only 2 from Baxter and 2 from Rex, and that's all you got. Even though they are important characters to keep an eye on when it comes to you trying to figure out who the murderer is, and it's majority Baxter, and we don't get much from him. He's there at the beginning, putting on his hat. You get those little tiny flashbacks of just like, yeah, he doesn't like Ronan, so it's like, yeah, maybe he is the killer. So he has motive. a little bit. And then going into, it's like, okay, he's still on the case of the Bell Killer, even though he's been demoted, he's been thrown off the case, and is trying to push it over to Rex, who is still on the case as well. Both of them don't get enough. There's too much spacing between those bits there. And in terms of Abigail, like, you get her at the beginning of just like, okay, there's still these 300-year-old ghosts that's happening there. Keep the credits going. They're long credits. But it's like and apart from her appearing on a roof, just kind of just like being around, there's not much else. Until you kind of go, like, she doesn't even introduce her own name. You figure that out through investigation instead of like, what's your name, little girl? Come on. So yeah, I feel like there was a lot more that could have been done to make this game a little bit more dense in its structure. Because otherwise things are too spread out. I would argue that the second visit to the church, where they're just kind of flying through everything, and it would be Baxter who was going through it, because that's unfinished business that Baxter was going through to kill Iris, because Iris was also supposed to be dead with Rose as well. I feel like it could have been skipped. And when it comes to mystery stories, and depending on the amount of mystery stories that you might have heard in the past, there's a lot of that you could predict was going to happen. Like with Joy. Like, chances are you kind of figured out that it's like, yeah, Joy is going to be targeted by the end of it. Because we need some sort of stakes. We need some sort of elevation of the action a little bit by the end of it. Yeah. Like, I want to like it more than I want to like it more than I do. I see where they were kind of going with it. If there was any wind of this game getting a little bit more to it afterwards, I feel like that would have been a dumb idea. Murdered Soul Suspect 2, still wandering around Salem as a ghost. Now, I would have seen it going to like a different location, play around with another murder mystery, sure. But this game was kind of like a wink and a nod, and just kind of went away. Didn't really have any staying power, which is a shame. But I like thinking about it. I like these kind of middle ideas because it gets me thinking. It gets me thinking about what it could be, what it could do. All right. Lovely. So, 4 hours. Yeah, it was an extra hour. It was an extra hour in order to get through it. I could have split it into two-week streams, but I didn't want to actually drag it out for a fourth stream. That was not something I wanted to do, really. Also, some of the mechanics of the game there. Like, possessing a cat felt like a novelty. Overall there, of just like, ooh, we can do things with a cat. Except that the cat was just kind of limited. It just gave a little bit more mobility, but that was about it. The mind reading is a fun idea, but apart from like little tiny bits and pieces, I don't feel like that's definitely not where the energy of the writing went to. Of just like making really believable random NPCs all over the place that we could figure out more to. The extra investigations. I said at the beginning of this stream that they were all done. Like, there was no extra. There was no more extras. Like, if you found them really early on, you're kind of going like, oh, well, there's nothing else to do. Okay, I'm just gonna beeline through the story now because there's nothing else in order to kind of go around and explore with. I honestly feel like this is just my guess that it could have been because they had to wrap things up, they had to tighten ship in order to make sure that things were as solid as the core was actually solid. So that's what made that happen. Which I get. I understand there. Yeah, and then the demons. Well, the demons existed. That's what we get. Could they have been a little bit more? Yeah. It's kind of like with Rose's ghost being that kind of different there of going like, oh, Iris is possessed by a demon. This could have been interesting in terms of doing a little bit more of an exorcism kind of thing. But no, that kind of got dropped too. There was a lot of things that felt like they got dropped. Like they got started with it and went, well, we can make it go to this point, but then we got to stop because we really have to focus on making sure the complete package works here. And I feel like they went with the safe bet. They really made sure that this was safe overall. So, we're done with our safe game. We're done with our pretty safe game. So what's next on the pipeline? Well, I've been looking at actually taking a bit of a break. I have no plans to do next week for anything there. I do know what I want to do next, but I don't want to do it like immediately next week. So I'm going to take a break. So nothing next Saturday. And maybe we'll start it in 2 weeks' time. We'll see. Because there's other things that I'm wanting to do for the channel and get going now that it's September and something has opened up that I need to actually focus on. And get started again, if you know what I mean. So, hopefully you enjoyed Murdered Soul Suspect. It's here if you're ever wanting to watch a little bit more of it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will see you another time. Keep note for any posts that come out for what's coming next. But for now, it'll be a little bit of a break. So, see you next time, everyone. Take care. Bye.